Hi, this is Mike from Minimal 3DP, and today I'm just installing the chains on my Voron 2.4 R2 Pro Plus. The slog continues as I'm putting this thing together. I think I've been working on this now over 3 months. I'm hoping to start making some progress to sort of finish this thing up. Hopefully within the next week or so, I'll finish videos and we'll get those posted. If you have any questions or comments, please post below. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Now, right now I'm looking at the back of the printer, and I know I have parts sitting all over it, mainly because I've now run out of space. I have parts everywhere. Unfortunately, I decided to buy parts for several other projects, and that is not going well because I haven't finished the Voron. And so, as I've noted before, I'm getting in more and more trouble because things are starting to pour out of my office and take over the whole upstairs. Now, let me call up the directions here, and let's take a quick look. Now, from the look of things, since I'm using the EBB board, I don't need this chain right here off the hot end. I also don't need this chain over here with the end stop. Both of those are replaced with the CAN bus cord, which will follow right along with the Bowden tube. So the only chain I really need to install is this Y chain here in the back for the AB motors. So I'm going to start on that. I have the parts put aside. And so let's get this thing installed. Basically, I have a couple little parts here. I've already done the hot set inserts here on these little red pieces. And so what I'm going to first install is this M5 T-nut and then this M510 button head. So let's switch over to the printer and we'll take a look. To start off, I'm just going to insert and install the M5 T-nut. Let me find some sort of pry this in here with. Okay, so that's in. And then from the look of it, I think I need this piece, something like this. And I want to start the screw. So I'm starting the screw. Now what's cool about this is there's a hole right here so I can stick my driver through. And make sure I have the correct driver. I'm interpreting it something like this. Now, that should be fairly easy to loosen and move around. But for right now, I think that looks all right. Now, I'm also going to apologize. My daughter is away for the weekend, and her cat is in here with me, assisting with the construction of the printer, which mainly means finding parts and knocking them down, because God forbid I just be able to work in peace. Now, from the look of it, let's get the chain. So I have the chain right here. And what we're going to do with this chain is take the ends off. And let's zoom out so we can look at the cat. Oops. So here is Sweetie watching me diligently work at this. And as soon as I touch a bag, she charges me and scratches the hell out of me. So again, we're just having fun. She does not like when I open bags here, which again, everything here is in a zillion tiny little plastic bags. Now I took the ends off here, so I have this like this. And let me see if I can figure out how this goes. Should be something like this. I think. And let me see if I can figure out how I need to connect this in. No, I was wrong here. I don't want to take the ends off. I need those on there so that way I could screw everything in. It feels like it's sitting way too high, but I think that's okay. And then let me get my screws out. I need, according to this, an M310. And so let me find 2 of those so we can screw this in. Now I'm using 2 M310 flatheads. What I'm doing is lining this piece up in the back here. And then screw in here. Oops. Let's see if I can do this without losing my mind. And this is, I'm putting the trapezoid, the one this way, going in like this. And that is screwed in. Now, what we're going to do is do the top up here. And there's the same piece right up here. And let me move the camera and so we can see that. So Sweetie is helping me now with this. At least that's what she thinks she's doing. I think she's trying to find loose parts to knock down, so I have to find them. I'll be honest, this is awkward as all get out, and I just dropped the screw. So let me pause and I'll get this installed and then we'll come right back. So as you can see, I have this installed here. It's not, I have the camera on the wrong side here. Let me try making this a little bit tighter. I feel like it's a tiny bit loose. I'll be honest, it doesn't feel like I'm going to get it much more. There we go. It's a little bit tighter, which I like. And now, I did have to print a piece. I printed this little piece here, and this for the Y-Endstop. The Y-Endstop's going to go right over here. It's going to sit something like this. And these wires need to be able to run through. And they're actually going to come down here and go up into the chain and down to the bed. So here's the piece so you can see it real well. What I did was I just took an end stop, put this all together, and I used the wire that came with the kit. The only issue was I had to change the way this was shaped. Actually, this piece was broken, and so the top part of the end stop was broken, so I just had to repair it. But I used the same cord. So let me go ahead and get that installed. I'm taking my Y-Endstop piece, and I'm just making sure the wires are routed to go down here. They're actually fitting in here. Let's just make sure they're routed down there so they're not tangled. In fact, I don't even have to do that. What I need to do is just put them right through this crease here. So I'm putting them into this crease. Let me see so you can see it. And this crease will just go right through into the chain. Yeah, that'll be fine. So I'll just set it like that. So let me get this sort of oriented. I'm just holding it down. And let me see if I can push these screws through. Now, I printed this piece in PLA Plus. And it looks like I need to poke the holes through. They're not quite through, so let me do that on camera. So I had a little string in the hole, so I just cleaned that up a little bit. Let's see if we can get these to start. There we go. And I said, I'm just going to put the cord right through here. Now they should, by sitting right here, and I should have done this in red. This will sit here and the Y should tap against it. We're not. Now, one thing I forgot is I have a little bumper here, and I need to take this piece off. So I need to replace this piece with the bumper, so that way the end stop will actually hit. It's not a big deal, but for some reason I thought I printed this a couple weeks ago and forgot about the bumper. This is also the problem with having too much crap in my office. Stuff's getting buried. And I think this is just a symptom of me in 3D printing, that have way too much stuff. Now, should really say that how much I love 3D printing too. I'm using it. I use my printers constantly. I think the big thing I'm using them for is I do a lot of stuff for kids. As part of my work, sometimes we do some STEM outreach. And I enjoy printing stuff, although, funny enough story, there was neighbors across the way, and I saw they had kids. Kids said how pretty they thought my dog was, so I thought it'd be cool to made them some little M&M dispensers. Now, what's funny about that is my wife pointed out that I want to give candy to strangers. That maybe I really needed to rethink that. Now, I didn't have any problem with it. But once I said it out loud to the neighbor that, hey, here's some little candy dispensers I gave you, I made for you, it did feel a little funny. It's like the story of my life, putting my foot in my mouth or saying dumb stuff. Which pretty much this whole conversation could be considered that. So I have this little bumper here, and that's going to go right here. That bumper's going to allow it to hit the end stop here. So let me find screws that'll work, and we'll get this installed. I'm not sure these are going to work perfectly, but I have these M5s. Of course, you can hear the cat who wants attention now. Because as soon as I start talking, she's all about attention. So I'm just getting this in. Now this does look like these screws are going to work, although they're not silver. That's perfect. So that does work. So I have Y installed. And let's just take these wires. And what I'm going to attempt to do is fish these through. I'm trying to see if I can unsnap these. Doesn't feel like it. So I'm just going to push this wire through. And this might take me a little bit. You don't need to watch me push wires through, so I'll pause and just run the wires through the chain. So I have the Y-Endstop wired through. Now I'm going to do the A and B motors. So I have these cords right here. And what they want me to do is zip tie the wires. And I'm assuming either going to zip tie along the bottom here or zip tie on the inside. I'm not sure which. Again, we have the cat with me. So You can see her. Now, I need to figure out which motor's which, and that'll take me a minute to look up. So let me pause, and I'll figure out which motor's which. So this is A, this is B. I have the B wires here. So I'm just going to plug these in, and I'll figure out how to run these. I think what I'm going to do is run this along the side like this. I really feel like that's sticking out like a sore thumb. I'll have to look at some images. Let me just run this through and just get this wired down. So now as I'm doing this, you get to watch the cat play with the blinds. I think that's actually all right. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's not eat the cord, sweetie. I did not name the cat. She is definitely a piece of work. She is into everything. Mostly my stuff. And it's sort of funny how that works. The cat knows who. My son's home from college this weekend, but he gets pretty much ignored. And I'm the one that cat hangs around with. And I guess I shouldn't complain because I enjoy it. It does make me smile. And let me see if I can find something to push this down with. I want to sort of get this through. And then I'll mess with zip tying it. Because if I zip tie it, knowing myself, I'll zip tie it and then find out that I ain't given myself enough slack, or I have too much slack, or some other problem. So I got it most of the way down. Let me pause and I'll finish it. So I have the wires all the way through. Now I'm just trying to figure out how I want to zip tie this. I think I'm going to go along the bottom. Now, the way I'll do this is, let me look at my zip ties. I want to make sure they don't mess with the belts, zip ties that are long enough. The kit actually came with zip ties. I'm using my own. So let me look at the kit zip ties. I'll be right back. So I'm switching zip ties. So let's see how these work. These work any better? Problem is I can't seem to get them started. That's just not working. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave those hanging for a little bit. I have these clips I used for the... I have some clips I used for the Mercury one. And I'm going to use those clips here rather than zip ties. I think those will look neater. And so I'll just do that. So I'll print some of those tonight. And I'll show you those next video. Do this A motor. Oops, went the wrong way. Now, I guess I could work with my office door closed, but I'm trying to leave it open because the dogs, typically, the minute I close, the dogs will bust in. And it's just sort of funny because the cat's in here because the dogs are not. Not that they don't like each other, it's just if she's in here with the dogs, they're too close. The older of my two dogs is not necessarily, doesn't hate the cat, but also does not love the cat. My younger dog loves the cat. And we've spent most of the weekend chasing each other around the house. And hiding, and then chasing, hiding, and then chasing. And then it's even funnier that the minute anybody pops out of a room that the door was closed, the cat's hiding, ready to pounce on you. So this one probably doesn't even need a clip. But we'll print a couple of those. I said the Mercury 1 clips. I just need to find where I have those models. Hopefully I saved them. They're really handy and I really like them. I think you will too. I'll also print them in red. I have red filament on one of my printers and it's a short roll. So that'll be good. I can get rid of that. Now, probably should have opened this chain all up, but I did not. I will say this, I'm sort of, I guess, rebuilding my studio here. I have new laptop, new microphone, new camera, or newish. I've had it for a couple weeks now. My old laptop finally bit the dust. And I bought a new Mac. Not new, but a renewal from Amazon. And I mean, I was looking at, I really wanted the laptop. And I looked at some of the Windows laptops, but unfortunately I just couldn't afford one that was rated really high. And the M1 Pro MacBook was still rated higher than a lot of the brand new Windows machines. And so far I've been pleased with the video performance. The only thing I'm missing is I wouldn't mind having an NVIDIA graphics card. And that's for other reasons beyond just the bonuses that gets me for processing and whatnot. I have some interest in machine learning. And at one point, you really needed an NVIDIA, but I have noticed that a lot more of the libraries are now leveraging Apple Silicon. I think TensorFlow and some of the other ones now can leverage Apple hardware as opposed to just being strictly NVIDIA. And it goes back to what I can afford. And I just couldn't find a Windows laptop that was rated really highly, particularly for video editing. And it was surprising, the Mac, even though it has less RAM, it's so optimized for video that it tops a lot of the recommendations. I don't want to say I'm a fanboy, but it does just work. Now I'm paying for that. Okay, so I have that all wired up. I have the chain right. I have the Y-Endstop. Everything's looking good. The only thing I need to do is I'm going to do some of my clips. I'll print those clips and I'll do another video and show you those. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them below. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Have a good night. This is Mike again. If you're having trouble with your 3D printer, I'm putting a link in the video description of how you can schedule a 15-minute consult with me. I'm more than happy to sit down with you, see if we can figure out what the problem is, see if we can get your printer rolling. Also, if you would like to support the channel, I've enabled memberships. And so for a small monthly contribution, you can help support my work. Now, ideally, what I'm going to do is use any money, and same for the advertising I get for the channel. I'm going to use that to buy more 3D printers and more equipment and more technology that I could use here on the channel. If you have any questions or comments, please post below, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.